Hey, this is Jonathan from The Body of Evidence. Our podcast looks at the evidence behind medical topics, and for our 12th episode, we tackled so-called female Viagra, a new pill called Ad-Ye. We usually go out on the street to ask people what they think, but we thought asking random women on the street about their orgasm might not work. Comedian Gina Granter got a group of her female friends together before Christmas. Some are comedians, like her, others should be. We only ran a 3-minute excerpt on the podcast, but I wanted to release the full half-hour discussion because it is very, very funny. So consider this a podcast extra. Warning, it's uncensored and very raw. And you may pee your pants. When you're done listening, check us out at bodyofevidence.ca. We do good work. Enjoy.
So we're here to talk about flibanserin, otherwise known as female Viagra. And I guess, first of all, I'm curious about what you know about it and what you think of the name. I don't know who wants to start with the name.
2 clits down for the name. Big time. I don't know anything about it. This is actually the first. I think it's the first I've heard about female Viagra.
Me too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I hated that it was called female Viagra because it was like, you know, when I worked as a teacher in Europe, I was called a lady teacher, like lady doctor,
or female
so
comedian, or female.
Yeah. So the female thing, but then I was like, what is the real name? Oh, it's flibanserin. Because nothing says sexy times like flibanserin.
Yeah. And what's the commercial name again?
Ad-Ye.
Also,
I feel like Ad-Ye
so unsexy.
That's not sexy.
No,
not catchy.
Viagra. It sounds Viagra. It sounds so powerful.
But the rules of marketing on that one.
So nobody has heard anything about it at all. No. What do you think it does? Like, if you were to think about what effect it has to actually be comparable to Viagra.
If it works the same as Viagra, that's what I'm wondering. Does it actually increase blood flow to the clitoris? Or is it more of a does it increase lubrication?
I would assume that's what increases lubrication, arousal.
I imagined the clitoral thing. Yeah. I thought it was going to be like big swollen clitoris. 4
hours. Orgasm on contact. You know, just like wear tight pants.
Yeah, I was like, what are we going to call a clit boner? That's what I wanted to know.
Point. Yeah.
We're not calling it clit boner.
Yeah, because that's like Lady Viagra.
Exactly.
Clit boner. Yeah.
What is? No. That's something to think about. So actually, so it actually is not something that you can take and then have sex. It's actually something you have to take every day.
Of course.
Oh. But is that like hormone? Because like postmenopausal women or menopausal women take hormone replacement therapy, right? Which helps with like vaginal dryness, which helps with lubrication. Is it sort of like that?
I do not know that much. It's a daily
thing. Does it make you forget your miserable life and think that you're happy?
Well, it is actually supposed to.
It's also an antidepressant.
Yeah, it's basically an antidepressant.
It's supposed to increase libido, so I guess like it's supposed to make people feel more aroused in general or more up for sex. And I guess in that case, like, do you actually think that like a underactive sex drive is really a thing at all, or that can be medicated in that way?
My initial reaction is I have no experience with that.
My initial reaction is that I need the opposite of that.
Take things down a notch.
No man is inventing that. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about it because like the only time that I really had a lack of desire was like immediately after having a baby, and then it was like, well, no, this is a great reason not to. And I'm also nursing, so could I even take this pill? Which most of those things are not even like, most medicines are just not, they're just contraindicated with that. So I was just like, woohoo.
Yeah. I don't know, I guess I just feel like it depends who is it marketed toward, who would use it. Like, let's say it's older women. Isn't that kind of like a normal phase of life? You just maybe libido does decrease a little bit in men and women, and is that so bad? And if, I don't know, if it's for people that have been married for 20 plus years and have no libido, then there's probably another issue going on, not just straight up lack of blood flow to the vagina. I don't know.
What's the name again? Can I Google it?
Flibanserin.
I'm just instantly thinking like Mad Men, 1950s, housewife, prescription tranquilizer
frigid.
abuse.
Like your husband has to authorize it, talks to the doctor when you leave the room.
Or like while you're in the room but doesn't talk to you.
Yeah.
And the guy, meanwhile, has no idea how to actually pleasure his wife. And it's like missionary style, no oral, no nothing. Just, out with his wife, out with his women in town. she's in the suburbs.
Oh God.
Okay, so here's the other kicker about it is that when you're taking it, you are not allowed to drink any alcohol.
Are you unanimous? What the fuck?
So I guess we try to imagine
That's not okay.
No.
So we kind of unanimously agree that's not.
Well, that's like the original female Viagra for most of us. Vodka.
Right?
Right. Are you allowed to do like drugs?
I think in general,
Ask me for a friend.
the medical establishment in general advises against.
In the studio right here.
They generally don't do these trial runs with like take some amphetamines and then take this pill and you'll feel like having sex.
Oh, why can't I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
With the logistics behind not taking
That's
alcohol.
really gonna happen everybody.
Well, the problem was that it actually was up for approval several times and got rejected. And some people say that the reason why it was approved, it took so long to get approved, was because of sexism, just because they just didn't want to have this out there available to women, afraid that they'd make women too horny. And also the actual medical reason was because it caused fainting and dizziness. And so I guess if you drink alcohol,
Are we in the
it's kind of like do not
19th
operate.
century?
That's what I was thinking.
What is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's my smelling salts, darling? I think I have the faintest.
Fainting and dizzy.
It might be cool, like, if I know that, like, a lot of women, myself included, struggle with, like, having orgasms, and so it might help people, like...
Yeah, what's the science? Like, what's it really doing?
Like, if
How
it
many
makes
more
your
orgasms
body-
per month?
Yeah,
How
like,
often?
if it makes that easier, then it'd be, like, pretty cool for women who are, like, maybe already have desire, but are, like, frustrated.
I don't know. I went to
we'd
a
have to
G-spot
know.
workshop at Venus Envy
Oh.
for that.
Maybe that's just what people need.
Is the G-spot even real? I don't know. Can you amp that up with a pill?
Yes.
You can drink on the G-spot.
So apparently, from what the idea is that, you really only get like one extra orgasm every 2 months, and you're taking a daily pill. I don't even know what it costs.
One extra orgasm.
It's made by a man. It's made by
Just
a man.
have more satisfying sex.
Let's be frugal with the orgasms,
One more orgasm?
It can actually.
That's
it
a
makes
funny-
that promise. Like.
I don't know about the promise, but I heard that this is what I have heard. It does.
But like,
Wow.
have you guys heard of women taking Viagra, like, or whatever the male equivalent?
Like actual Viagra?
And like, what's the?
If I may share, I have taken Viagra. A long time ago, I took Viagra with a boyfriend. We were just experimenting. It was when we were working on cruise ships, and we were in Mexico, and you can buy that shit, like, Mexican pharmacy. Like, I'll take 3 Viagras and some Xanax. So I did take it because I was curious, and I certainly didn't need it, but it was weird. I didn't really like it.
How did you feel? Like,
How did
It
it
was-
affect your body?
It actually felt like, sorry to be graphic, I could feel the blood like rushing to that area. And then when I had an orgasm, it was like painfully intense. It was sort of like, ow, ow! Like just not much. It was like a little bit too intense. And then I just didn't feel sated after.
Do we have any clinical trial feedback on the quality of the orgasm from the blah 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 blah?
because that's the thing I was wondering. 'Cause it's just like there's a difference between having an appetite for sex and actually achieving orgasm.
Well, that's it. That's, from a feminist perspective, does this, run the risk of like taking men off the hook for maybe like foreplay and
learning how to actually please women.
Yeah.
They'll just take a pill and I'll just focus on myself still.
One really good one every 2 months. That'll be enough.
Okay. You get 2 orgasms, I get 31.
We need to develop a pill that gives men a like insatiable appetite to eat pussy.
Yeah, that's where the science needs to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Research wealth funding.
I don't trust them to take like
Let's
male
come up with
birth
a name
control.
for that one.
Yeah.
The FDA website says that it's for sexual desire disorder, which is interesting.
Hypoactive.
Provides women distressed by their low sexual desire with an approved treatment option. My one thought is that, like, I don't know, asexuality is a thing. Like, some women identified folks might just not have sexual desire, and this kind of makes it like they're wrong medically.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
so pray away the gay. Use a pill to.
Yeah.
I don't have a rhyme for get rid of being asexual. So there was no fainting or dizziness with actual Viagra.
I don't think so. But we didn't really leave the bed for a while, so I didn't try to like get up and go about my day or something. It
There was
like
dizziness from the not drinking water for
long periods of time.
There were also 3 other drugs involved.
It's hard to
I was wondering if the dizziness thing would cause like a good excuse for the consent issue to be taken away, possibly. So it was like,
That's
I don't really know what happened. And the man is like, yeah.
Hence the no drinking
It's a
thing.
dark side.
It's like a mild
yeah.
date rape drug.
Oh God! It's an FDA-approved date rape drug. That's
It's
a
just like
big
small
conspiracy
doses
theory.
every day. Oh God.
That's dark.
We told you not to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, you end up getting taken advantage of.
It's all
It's
about
like
control.
The heaviness of that moment sets in.
Yeah.
But that is where my mind goes. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
all
me
about
too, me
control.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
of course, it's a bunch of man scientists.
So what are better forms of female sex drive stimulation than this pill, apart from this imaginary pill that makes men really hungry for oral?
I think that's the true answer.
No more online slut shaming. It's all like sociological things for me.
It's not just like, men in calendars promising to take out the trash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, is it a big
out a
like,
fire.
Stupid house.
is it a big like misconception that women need this? Like, is it like part of the stereotype that women aren't like horny,
Right.
Yeah.
whereas men are? It's like we better get a pill for
that we have a
women.
gap in sexual desire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there a rise in asexuality among women? Like, are women in our age range, let's say, like, I don't know, 20 to 50, reporting that they don't feel sexual desire? Like, where's the need
It's
for
being
this?
Googled right now.
I think it's probably just manufactured
Mm-hmm.
to make money. You know, I don't think
Yeah.
that there's anything wrong with women's sexuality per se, or the level of desire that's been going on. But it's like if you make a need for it, then people will react
Yeah.
to it and say, well, yeah,
Like everything else, that's
I,
true.
I could use that pill,
Yeah.
even though I'm, like antidepressants. I'm only sad, but yeah, well, you know what? I need a little pick me
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, I read an article years ago in Harper's that was talking about a guy who went to see, he went to a doctor about antidepressants. And he's just like, I'm just like a smart person who sometimes feels low about the world. And I answered the questions honestly, expecting that I would have a mild depression diagnosis, but instead I was told I had acute depression and that I needed something right away. So there's a part of it that's also just like the pill culture, the pharmaceutical
every day.
culture of taking something.
Absolutely.
Well, unless this pill can actually do something psychologically to my brain, then I don't think I would really want a pill to boost my sexual desire, because I think for me sex is all like between the ears, it's all in the brain.
Totally.
Like if a guy can get me off and really
Absolutely.
just like talk and play and flirting, then everything else just comes really easily. But if I see a guy, or if past relationships I've had and the guy is just like, hey baby, that doesn't do anything for me at all. Why would I need a pill to get me to that point where
But I wonder if it's for women who like they have that, like they're enticed in the brain and mental, and their body's just not agreeing with them. Like I don't know enough about it, but maybe it's the opposite, where it's you know, it's there in their head, but
It doesn't.
their body's
it's not,
not picking up the message. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Interesting,
any women that
interesting,
have that issue or have had it.
Because it seems to be a pill that addresses not so much physiology. Like our first thought immediately when we thought it was female Viagra was that it was going to do something physical. And so now it seems to be more addressing like long-term lack of sexual drive.
Which is what makes me think maybe there might be some and so much of the population is medicated on antidepressants, and one of the major side effects is decreased libido. So all that comes into play too, and I don't know.
But is it just a marketing strategy
Right?
for you know, a fancy way of saying antidepressants?
Yes.
And is Martin Shkreli going to buy it when he's out on parole and jack up the price?
Yeah.
And offer it for free to the only women who might be desperate enough to have sex with him.
Who would have sex with him?
Like, I'll see you in 2 months. Let it take effect.
And I wonder how long it takes for it to take effect.
I guess it's
Yeah, if you
about
have to
2
take it
weeks or
every
so.
day.
If you have to take it, you have to wait for a month. It's like, honey, sorry, got another week to wait before I get my rocks off, you know.
And then does it just like increase your desire all the time? So you're just like, oh. Like, how do you get it to like work at the right moment?
someone at a
when
bar.
you
That's a
can?
good question.
Yeah. It like breaks up
Hello,
marriages.
bus driver.
I think you're the male equivalent.
Oh yeah. Gives grocery shopping a whole new experience.
Think of this guy walking around with this kind of like low level hard on constantly in his life. Like, never quite up, never quite down, just yeah.
I feel like it would be kind of amazing for society to have a whole bunch of women just like walking around being very alive sexually. I feel like that helps the world.
It'd be like, like Bridget Fonda and Jackie Brown. She's like, when she's there looking at this picture with Robert De Niro, and she goes, "What fuck?" Like, there's just be more of that.
Yeah.
I don't know why I recalled this movie that's 20 years old.
That's great.
Clearly that scene stuck with me.
I like the idea of it taking like a month to kick in, like antidepressants, and like hitting on someone at a bar and be like, "So, want to hang out in like a month?" What are you doing later? Like 30 days.
Call me in 30 days.
That's so good. If you're still in town.
You're still single.
One interesting paragraph from the FDA website says, where is it? It is a serotonin 1A receptor agonist.
It's an antidepressant.
Yeah, exactly.
And a serotonin 2A receptor antagonist, but the mechanism by which the drug improves sexual desire and related distress is not known.
Oh.
So is it like
Ecstasy
ecstasy,
is
basically?
taken
It's
once
taking
daily.
E?
It's from the
Yeah,
FDA.
you get a free
It is
whistle.
dosed at bedtime to help decrease. Listen, it is dosed. Oh my god, you guys! It is dosed at bedtime to help decrease the risk of adverse events occurring due to possible hypertension, syncope, and central nervous system depression, such as sleepiness and sedation.
You're like, this will either make me really horny or fall asleep.
Or like really horny for like 5 minutes and then
So fuck like a dude.
yeah, it turns you into a dude, and that's why it's female Viagra.
We're turning women
Maybe a sandwich.
horny zombies.
Female Viagra, fuck like a dude.
Pass out.
And snore.
Wait, what's it called again? Blah, 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 blah.
It's ad
Flabanserin.
ye on this website, but
Because that's
What
the
was it?
ad ye.
Fla-
Flabanserin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it sounds like some sort of hybrid antidepressant, like MDMA-E thing. And
Yeah.
It sounds like less appealing than the word cunnilingus. And it's like they just kind of like. I keep coming back to cunnilingus.
Honestly, I think you're right.
But it's just like, let's make it all sound very unappealing.
a
Is
pill
it-
that, yeah.
Like, what was the, like, is this just, like, hysteria again? Like, how
That's
they were
what-
like,
yeah.
women's sexuality needs to be medicated and fixed, or whatever. Just a thought.
Yeah.
As I read this, like,
Yeah, because with
vague-
men, it's really just like a logistical
Yeah.
challenge
Right.
in the actual act.
Yeah.
You know? Except for that guy who recently fell into that woman's vagina
Oh, yeah,
and got
and
off
was
on the
acquitted
rape.
of rape. Yeah. I hate when that happens. Whoops. Yeah.
Well, like, men who use Viagra who are, like, not older men, What I wonder what like they use it for. Like, is it like partying, or is it like
Stay hard.
Yeah.
but is it used like, I don't know, in my life lately I'm encountering a lot of like men not being able to perform sexually because of like massive amounts of porn intake, which I think is
Hot use plus porn intake.
Yes.
So it's like, is Viagra created just like as a remedy from the fact that men are like so distanced from their bodies and like sexual, like
Intimacy
natural
and
sexual
connection.
arousal
Yeah.
because of the way that porn's so heavily marketed towards them? And then female Viagra is created on the assumption of like women are also distanced from their bodies, which I feel like they're often not as intensely like, I don't know.
A woman can't suddenly
that's a
become
good
two
point.
hot
Yeah.
shaved lesbians doing something to each other to stimulate this man. Therefore, they will take.
Yeah, like we're all getting so much distance from whatever like holistic sexuality is.
Super good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
I just think people
really
should
good point.
smoke hash. I don't know, that always works for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's everyone's natural Viagras? I like the alcohol. You take away the alcohol and give the pill, and you can just drink.
That would just be, I can't even imagine then. Like, you'd already, I guess it's more so for people who are already in a relationship. Not to say you have to meet someone over alcohol, but.
But good point. Like, why not put more research into, like, I don't know, focus groups about that? Like, talk to women about their sexual experiences, because I've encountered that too. Like, I was going to say very young, that sounds bad, but like young men who have major performance issues or who like make you reenact some fucking scene they just saw in a porno, basically. And like, are you even in this?
Yeah.
Or like, sorry, Kaiba.
No, go ahead.
Just like my friends were talking about how like guys will, because like when they're having sex, they'll think about like horrible like non-sexy things to try to keep from coming really fast. So they'll be like, think about your dead grandmother, think about like rotting corpses and stuff. And it's like, this is what men are thinking about while they're having sex with me.
Oh,
Like,
baby,
isn't
your
this-
stamina is amazing.
My friend used to yell nuns playing baseball.
What? Just keep from coming.
He'd be like, nuns playing baseball! Like, not my
I went to a
friend, but like a friend of mine.
More like
They're
an acquaintance.
Yeah, totally nuns playing baseball.
I went to a nunsploitation film festival, and I believe that was one of the movies.
That's insane.
Oh my god,
I've
have
never
you
heard
seen?
that term.
Oh my god, there's a L'Intérieur d'une couvent. That's the French version, and that's the French one, and oh my god, the Japanese one was School of the Holy Beast.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I actually like coined the term wild nun muff. So serious. There was some seriously brave woodsmen.
I went to Catholic
braving
school
some
in a
forests.
convent. Stop!
The Japanese one had like full on like thrashing with rose thorns and stuff, like fully S&M. Yeah, it's at the Cinema du Parc, man. It's nunsploitation like every year.
Okay, another good point. Why not encourage women to watch not traditional porn, but like feminist porn? Right? So, I don't know.
Or ask women, like, what porn for them would be like, and make more feminist porn.
Yeah, make more feminist.
And hope that it's not Love Actually. Which I have never seen.
What?
I know.
I
don't do romantic
I don't think
comedies. I do
I've
not.
seen that.
It makes me hate the world more.
Oh,
That
legit.
movie? Or
No, I cannot
Very legit.
handle any of it. I have not seen like any of those movies.
Understandable.
I have a real
What about if Tom Hardy was in the porn? Would that help?
porn romantic comedy we're talking about.
I know, but it's just a step
It becomes porn when Tom Hardy's in it.
I would watch anything with Tom Hardy in it. Admittedly,
Just Tom Hardy doing
and I
mundane
hate that I like him
chores.
so much.
Hashtag feminist
He's
porn.
so. You see to show the scene in Mad Max where he looks at Charlize Theron, you know, and he's like, the tenderness. But no, I hate that I like him so much because he's so traditionally good looking. But
I like
he's
the
so
idea of making
bad.
like female Viagra like a hashtag or like an idea, but just say like other non-medicinal things that turn women on that maybe people don't know.
I'm part of I have like a little secret group in my social media account.
Oh.
And it's very much women. It's like the info just says dick, 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 dick. And the cover photo is Benedict Cumberbatch in black and white adjusting his tie, and we're all total like sci-fi Sherlock nerds and stuff. And so it's very much like an open space, and we're like, who's your like unusual crush, whatever. And so like, you know, I was there, I was like, I'm so glad I'm in this group. Here's a picture of John Goodman. You know, so I like that I can how could you not? I could write a thesis on Dan hair in the scenes of Roseanne, like Dan fashion. But no, we totally talk about these things there, like what really excites you, and a lot of it is pretty like nerd festy stuff, you know. Yeah.
Okay, this is already so many good ideas emerging. Like that's a good idea too. A bunch of women getting together and talking about what turns them on.
Yeah. There's a thing called the internet. It's like Google your thing.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like bullshit.
I think
that
that's what
sounds like
fucking
modern
50 Shades of Grey
hysteria
was
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is like marketed towards like straight women too, probably more than like queer women. Who knows?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see like who's going to their doctor complaining about this. What
Who's
woman?
coming?
We need someone who can answer our questions.
Yes.
I'm just a comic. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I do not have.
You don't play one on TV.
I don't have hypoactive sex drive anymore.
No, me neither. Oh. Wish I did.
Yeah, the suppression thing would have been awesome when I was like, when I was like pregnant with twins and not allowed to have an orgasm for fear of premature birth.
Oh, really?
For 20 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It's a thing.
Whoa, really? Wow.
And I was watching a lot of Sopranos, and I really like James Gandolfini. It's really unfortunate.
So you were walking around in the grocery store just like,
I was like the size of a house.
vibrating.
It's so horny right now. Logistically, it's really hard.
I want to know about that.
And that's it too. Not to get serious again. But like I feel like traditional science, medical science has like ignored women so much anyway. I'm not trustful at all of them. So like did they actually consider things like that? You know, maybe there's lingering if you went through that experience, like you're pregnant with twins and an orgasm might elicit spontaneous birth, like that could maybe stick with you for a year or two. Like there's all these cycles due to hormonal and pregnancy, and I don't know. I personally feel like medical industry hasn't been too
I would like to go on
Up
record
on
as
that?
saying that I had an orgasm within an hour of my doctor's approval 6 weeks after giving birth. Just like I don't have any lingering anything.
okay, but maybe I don't know, maybe some
The way that this is funny, it's like, okay, so the effectiveness of the 100 milligram bedtime dose of Adyi was evaluated in 3 24-week randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trials in about 2,400 premenopausal women with acquired generalized HSDD, which is, as we were looking at before,
oh god,
the
it's like a term.
hypoactive
it's a
sexual desire.
DSM
Basically
story.
not being horny enough,
Okay.
which is, who knows if that's a real thing.
Someone
dreams?
voted to get it into the DSM.
Maybe they just have really good sex
what it
dreams
sounds
then.
like.
It's just like angry men that are like, the women don't want to fuck me. They must have like some disorder. There must be something wrong with her.
Exactly.
In these trials, women counted the number of satisfying sexual events. What's that? Like having a random orgasm.
If you have like really low standards.
Satisfying sounds like good enough.
If you have really low standards.
Satisfactory.
And now I need a ham sandwich.
Oh my god, yeah. I was there's this comic named Elsa Waite, and she does this bit about how her name means God is satisfactory. And that's just like not the best name to have. But God is satisfactory. Praise be to him. He is okay. You know?
Acceptable.
So yeah, the satisfactory sexual experience doesn't necessarily
What is that?
I was like I had this thing with someone from one of them at the bar. It's like team mediocre. It's like practice makes good enough. Practice makes good enough.
Tolerable.
Satisfactory.
So they had how much of an increase?
It says what you said. Treatment with Adyi increased the number of satisfying sexual events by 0.5 to 1 additional event per month over placebo. Placebo increased the sexual desire score by 0.3 to 0.4.
0.3 is pretty high.
Yeah, they just think they're getting hornier, then they get hornier.
Like, really? Like, what is placebo when you're talking about sexuality?
Arousal is. It's all in your head. Yeah,
You guys didn't go and eat some oysters and have the same kind of
Good point.
Effect.
Yeah.
oysters.
They do that on
I
the
should have
focus
had
group?
some
They're
of
just
that.
oyster pills.
They're actually pearls.
Oyster sauce.
You just swallow a pearl for 30 days. You're like shitting pearls. You're like, I am the sexiest, most valuable woman alive.
I'm a
because
fucking
I'm
unicorn.
literally shitting pearls.